digital world, especially in the entertainment side, is getting more advanced, and it affects the way people think. We can see that teenagers nowadays want to work in entertainment industries rather than working in some science or social fields. Video games is one part of the digital entertainment, and I believe almost all people have experienced playing video games. But as time goes by, there are many new video games that contain violence, and it changed people's perception about the effect of playing video games. So now, video games are identical with the word violence, and that new perception make parents forbid their children to play video games. Maybe because they are afraid of their children wasting their time and become a violent person. However, we must know that everything that have disadvantages, it also have advantages. So, in this video, we are going to discuss the effect of playing video games to our brain development. To be more specific, we are going to discuss more about RPG. So, I hope while discussing this topic, you, especially parents, will understand the truth that playing video games have good advantages for your children. And also, I want to get rid of the idea that playing video games will make children become violent and aggressive. However, I also want to remind that everything that is done excessively is bad for you. Even water. We know that water is the most important thing in our life, but you can get water intoxication if you consume too much of it. Therefore, we should manage our time wisely, even though it gives you advantages. Doing too much of it can also be bad for you. Before we go deeper in this topic, do you know what is RPG?
Today I want to give you some questions about video games.
Okay.
So the first one is, do you play video games?
Yeah, I play video game.
Do you play video games?
Yes.
Do you play video games?
No.
Do you play video games?
Yes, I do.
So do you know what is RPG?
Yeah, I knew.
Can you explain it like a little bit?
Yeah. First of all, yeah, RPG is role-play games. So it's like the game has a story in it, and the first person is yourself.
So do you know what is RPG?
No.
So do you know what is RPG?
Yes, I do know what RPG is. I play it.
Can you explain?
Well, RPG is basically a game where the player takes the role of a fictional character in a fictional setting. So basically, all the action that happens in the game is all based on your choice.
Okay.
Genres of video games. It is categorized by a similar gameplay characteristic. Here are some different genres of video games. The first one is action games. The second one is adventure games. The third one is simulation. Then strategy games. have sports games. And the last but not least is RPG games. One particular study has shown that playing video games can help the brain development because it shows the increase of cognitive function after playing video games. The research was conducted among a group of young adult gamers who were spending at least 6 hours per week playing video games. Then, the research shows that playing video games can improve our visual attention abilities and navigation strategies that rely on the brain's reward system. However, they need to conduct future research using neuroimaging to confirm that playing video games doesn't have negative effect on the hippocampus. After I did some surveys and interviews, here are the results. Let's begin with the survey's result. The survey was done online in 2 days, and within that range of time, there are 40 responses collected. So, from the survey, it shows that more than half of the respondents know what is RPG video games, which is 57.5% from 40 people. It means that RPG is quite familiar at the moment. The respondents are mostly gamers because there was only 22.5% that not play video games, and 92.5% of the respondents have the opinion that men play more video games than women. And we could say that this survey can help this research because most of the respondents mentioned some RPG video games when they questioned about the games that they play. So it means that most of them answered the survey based on RPG games. From the respondents that play video games, the top 3 reasons for them to play video games are for entertainment and fun with the percentage of 83.9%. Then the second one is boredom with the percentage of 54.8%. Then the third one is stress relief with the percentage of 48.4%. On a scale 1 until 10, there is 25.8% of respondents say that playing video games give more positive effects at a scale of 8, and there is no respondents choose the scale of 1 and 2. So it means that they are agreed that playing video games give you more positive effects. Then the next questions are how games improve the visual abilities and navigation strategies, and they answer it in a scale 1 until 10. Most of the respondents agree with both statements because there is more people that give the scale more than 5 for both questions. When they questioned for other effects of playing video games, some people answer with learn another language, especially English, improve teamwork and communication skill, and then improve imagination and creativity. And for respondents that didn't play video games, we asked them for their opinion towards gamers. Then most of them say playing video games is just wasting of time.
What games did you play?
Yeah, I play Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Okay, great game. So the game that you play give you more positive effects or negative effects?
I think it gave me positive effects because after playing it, I feel like fresher, and since I enjoy playing it, so I feel happier after playing games.
Oh, any negative effects?
I think the negative effect is just like your time is wasted.
Okay, so from your experience of playing video games, especially for RPG, have you ever felt that your visual attention abilities and navigation strategies improved?
Actually, after playing games, my visual ability is improved because I can easily spot things, so I can find my belongings more easy.
Okay, so your visual attention abilities is improved after you play some video games, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So you experienced that, right?
yeah. I experience it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
The game that you play give you more positive effect or negative effect?
I feel it gives me more in positive effect.
Can you explain like what is your positive effects?
The game is fun, teach us some strategy, and it makes me happier after finish the video game.
Okay, so the last question is from your experience of playing video games, have you ever feel that your visual attention abilities and navigation strategies improved?
Yes.
Yes. Have you ever experienced playing RPG games?
Yes, I do. As I've said before, I've played all of them. It's basically all my main games.
Can you mention some games, RPG games?
Oh, sure. You can say Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. You got Dragon Age. You got Mass Effect. You could say that too, and Assassin's Creed.
Okay, the game that you play that you mentioned before, is it give you more positive effects or negative effect?
Well, every game has its own different storyline and so on. But I have to say that all of them basically give me much more knowledge to this world. For example, BioWare. Basically, all their games tell you more about the morally great decisions in life, and so I've grown accustomed to politics and so on. I basically learned politics from Dragon Age, so I would say that it would have given me a lot of positives, but you know the negative effects is I'm sometimes addicted to it. So
Okay, so the next question is from your experience of playing video games, have you ever feel that your visual attention abilities and navigation strategies improved?
well, navigation skill. I think that depends on the game you're playing. Well, I do play a lot of games, so I would say that if in terms of increasing your visual ability and your basically determining something using your eyes, I would say FPS games or those first-person shooter game, it really gives you that whole kind of edge because you have to concentrate a lot, and yeah, it kind of helps. Based on my experience, it actually helped me. So
Do you play video games?
No,
No. Okay, so why don't you play video games?
because I don't like to play video games. I prefer to like watch movie.
Okay. So what do you think about people that spend their time for playing video games?
If they spend on like 1 hour, I think it's good. Like it can refresh their mind. But if they do it for too long, it's like wasting their time.
Okay, so the next question is what are the advantages and disadvantages that you know from playing video games?
The advantages is like it can make them be more creative. Like it can improve their ability to storytelling. Then it can also make the player communicate with others. And it also
So maybe what are the you have mentioned the advantages, so maybe is there any disadvantages?
yeah, of course there is. Like it make the player wasting their time and also their money. Like if they need things that they can use in the game, but it needs real money to get it. Yeah, it's like wasting their time.
Okay, so that was the last question. Thank you.
Thank you.
The research supports my thought about playing video games. From other sources that I have read, the results are all almost the same. Even they use different methods to conduct the research, the results still similar. So it strengthened my idea that playing video games can give us great benefits, especially in the brain development. After I got a lot of information from the research that I did, there are a lot of sources that against each other, because some of them say that playing video games is good for our brain, but in the other hand, there is also groups deny that playing video games is good. But then, I found out that people who discusses about the disadvantages are mostly talking about the effect for psychological, not the effect on the specific brain development that I try to find out, which is the cognitive function. I think playing video games can really improve our brain development, and it has been justified by a group of scientists. One of them is the article that I've read. So, I conclude that playing video games can improve our brain development, but it also gives some problems to our mental health if we do it wrongly. But of course, all of these skills like good visual abilities and navigate abilities are only useful if you use them, which you can't if all you do is play video games. So enjoy your spare time and relax with your games. But get out there and keep your life diverse as well, because that's how you win at the game of life.